Hello. Hello, shall we start? Am I audible, Gitanjali?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
you're
Yes.
audible.
Okay, fine. Check any doubts from the yesterday's newspaper? Yesterday I asked you to read some articles. So any doubts from that? No doubts. Bhakti? Pramod, Bhakti, Sonali?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts from yesterday's newspaper?
No, sir.
Okay, shall so we'll start it for today. Can you all see the screen? Is it visible? Can you all see the newspaper? Okay, so there was news related to the aeroplane crash in Kozhikode. So there was one mission started by Government of India. That mission is called as Vande Mataram mission. Anyone knows what is this Vande Mataram mission? Vande Mataram mission was started by the Government of India to bring back the Indian workers in the in abroad, especially those who were stuck up in the Gulf countries. So a special, what you can say, the operation has been started by Government of India to bring the Indian, what you can say, the expatriates who are living in Gulf countries. So one of that such type of, what you can say, the aeroplane has been, what you can say, crashed in Kozhikode, that is in Kerala. So those people have been killed. That news is there. Right hand side, there is one more article on news related to the vaccine and in late stage to two top panels coordinating and monitoring efforts. So we are seeing that many organizations are trying to find out a vaccine for the COVID-19. So scientists from within, outside government, 4 key secretaries discussing the range of issues. So what are the issues related to the vaccine invention as well as the production and distribution of the vaccine? That is all being discussed here. So here it is in the second paragraph, it is mentioned that the top scientists from outside the government, specialists from premier government research institutes, and secretaries of 4 key central ministries, that is health, commerce, finance, and personal affairs, have been deliberating on range of issues around the administration of the potential vaccine. So read it out how the situation, how the how exactly the vaccine is administered. That is all explained here. And there is one more article here that how the tabletop runway, a challenge and no firewall saving grace. That is what is mentioned here. So just read it out. Then going to the next article that is related to India-China LAC issue. Major generals likely to meet at PBO over Depsang tension. So we know that there are certain points, there are certain areas, there are certain, what we can say, the patrolling points where the dispute is going on between India and China. So one such is called as Daulat Beg Oldie. So the issue about the ownership of the Daulat Beg Oldie, the article is what you can say, the meeting is going to be held between major generals of both India and China. That is what is mentioned here. So just read it out. Check it. Then 1 million shot for serum production of COVID vaccine. That is explained here. Going to the next important page, Parliament in COVID. Alternate workday sheets to separate roles. So it is mentioned here that how the Parliament is going to function in COVID situation. How it is going to do. They are going to work on alternate days, and there are some sheets to separate roles. So you can cut this article and put it in paper 2 topic with other functions, structure, and issues related to the union legislature. So there is one topic in paper 2. So here you can use this information to find out that how in such situation, in pandemic situation, or in such a COVID-19 situation, how both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are going to function. What are the new ways through which the parliament is going to be convened in the coming months? So just read this article and cut it and put it in paper 2 topic. Going to the next page, we will direct to the editorial. Can you please mute yourself? Yeah, thanks. Uddhav directs formation of panel to explore relocation of 50 tigers. So do you remember that in basic environment, we have discussed that sometimes you need to relocate some of the animals from one habitat to another habitat. there are various ways through which the conservation and the conservation methodology, in situ and ex situ conservation methodology. So that we can say that the Maharashtra government is trying to relocate some of the 50 tigers of India to the other, we can say, the tiger reserve. So where they are going to do that, we just read it out. By reading this article, you will come to know which tiger reserves are located in Maharashtra. Now again, remember, environment and forest is in concurrent list. Both union government and the state government can make policies related to the conservation of the forest and animals. So Maharashtra government is trying to relocate some of the 50 tigers as per the power which is given to them as a concurrent list. So just read it out, why the government wants to relocate those 50 tigers in some other tiger reserves. So IIT Bombay to use artificial intelligence to check malpractices during online exams. So we know that because of what we can say, whenever the exams are being conducted online, there might be some malpractices. So IIT Bombay is going to, what we can say, use the artificial intelligence to check the malpractices during the online exams. So you can read this and put it in paper 3, topic basics of cyber security. So today's editorial: after the landslide, Sri Lanka's new government is likely to wear majoritarianism on its sleeve, use Beijing as a counterweight to Delhi. So majoritarianism is what majority says that needs to be followed. The same thing is happening in India. The majoritarianism is also increasing in India. Similarly, the same thing is going to happen in Sri Lanka. So if the majoritarian government comes into power in Sri Lanka, it will, what I can say, use Beijing as a counterweight to that, because we know that in Sri Lanka there are two important communities or two important races are there. One is Sinhala community and another is called as Tamil community. So Sinhalas are the majority community while the Tamilians are the minority community. So this majority community is in favor of having good relations with China. So to counter India, they are going to have good relations with China. That is what is mentioned here. So Sri Lanka's new government is likely to wear majoritarianism on its sleeves, use Beijing as a counterweight to Delhi. So here what you need to do, here you have to cut this article and put it in paper 2, topic India, the bilateral relations, and in bilateral relations there is, they have to create a new, what you can say, the topic that is called India-Sri Lanka relations. So what is the background of the India-Sri Lanka relations and what is the current situation between the India and Sri Lanka bilateral relations, that we will come to know after reading this article. So read this article, cut this article and put it in paper 2, topic bilateral relations. Within bilateral relations, India-Sri Lanka relations. Fine. So any doubts about this particular thing? You have to read it out. It is completely a political, what you can say, the news. So okay, I'll read this out. What exactly, how the relation between India and Sri Lanka is there. The results of the Sri Lankan parliamentary elections were foretold from the time of the February 2018 local elections, swept by Mahinda Rajapaksa, Sri Lanka, we can say Pudujana Perumovana, voters who had decided in 2015 to throw an authoritarian Rajapaksa regime and opted for seemingly bold challenger in Maithripala Sirisena, had by then already tired of the dysfunctional relationship between him and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. So early in his term, Wickremesinghe was seen as a shielding corrupt friends. Sirisena was seen as being so mortally afraid of Rajapaksa's return to power that he had supported communicating with his Prime Minister. But the last straw was the failure of this duo to prevent the 2019 Easter Sunday garnet despite credible real-time intelligence from India. So the near two-thirds victory of the SLPP has recontestized the Rajapaksa family grip in Sri Lanka. while two dynastic political parties that shaped the dynasty of Sri Lanka through the last century, the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and the United National Party, may have breathed their last. Two old Colombo ruling elites have been all buried, and new dynasty has seen in Sajid Premadasa, the son of the former president, Ranasinghe Premadasa. So what is happening there in Sri Lanka? There are two political parties, one under the leadership of Rajapaksa and another is under the leadership of the Maitripala Sirisena. So Maitripala Sirisena was in favor of India. He was having a good relationship with India, while Mahinda Rajapaksa, who belongs to Sinhala community, he is a authoritarianism and again a majoritarianism. So obviously he again came back to power. So President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who was elected last year on majoritarian Sinhala Buddhist plank, built around his reputation as the architect of 2009 military victory over LTT, is a recent politician and more powerful than the PM under the constitution. But his flamboyant brother Mahinda, who has been the PM since Vikram Singh stepped down last year, soon after Gotabaya's election, has been a career politician for nearly 50 years. So when he is popularly reinforced, he will be retiring from number 2. Mahinda continues to nurse the ambition of becoming president once again. Brother willing, his parliamentary sweep, just 5 short of the 2/3 marks in 2025 member house, so could help him reverse the biggest architect of the previous government, which was to restore a 2-term bar on running for the presidency and trim the powers of executive president. So that is what is mentioned here. So just read it, it's all political news is given. So you know there is a topic in paper 2 called policies and politics in the developing and developed countries and its impacts on India's interest. So how it is going to have impact on India's interest, that you need to know. So the change in the government in Sri Lanka, how it will have the relationship, impact on the relationship between India and Sri Lanka, that you need to keep a eye or keep a watch on it. So how it is going to make a change in the Indian-Sri Lanka relationship. Right hand side, there is an article on the new education policy 2020, the new old. It is new, but again at the same time it is old. New educational institutions will not thrive in an old culture. They need an environment of trust and freedom. That is what is mentioned. So here, Shyam Menon is criticizing the new education policy. So you can get some, what you can say, the points for critically analysis of the new education policy 2020. So while the vision is laid out at pretty elaborately, the fact that we are starting not with tabula rasa, but with existing imperfect institution, both HEIs, that is higher education institutions, as well as the regulatory structure, the policy does not clarify how we will get there in 2 decades. Indeed, how we will accomplish the promised complete overhaul and re-energizing of the higher education system. What the policy envisages is to build the edifice of an entirely new ecosystem of independent, self-governing institutions with considerable autonomy for teachers from the debris of the fragmented ecosystem of the low standard teaching, lesser emphasis on research, suboptimal governance and leadership, and ineffective regulatory system. So these are the challenges, or these are the problems of India's higher education. So you will get some points. So what are the problems and what are the issues related to the Indian higher education? That one is that the fragmented ecosystem, low standard teaching, then lesser emphasis on research. We do not give more emphasis on research. Then suboptimal governance and leadership, and ineffective regulatory system. So these are the 4-5 points which are the issues related to the Indian education system. So you can get it out. So cut this article, put it in paper 2 topic. Social sector, that is education and health. So you can put this article in education topic. So here you will get what are the problems of the higher education in India, and how the new education policy cannot be a solution to the old problems, because the new education institutions will not thrive in an old culture. And in old culture, we know that our teachers are not proper, our, what you can say, the research methodology is also not proper. People do not emphasize more on the research. Then leadership is also not proper, governance system is also not proper, and regulatory system of the education system is also not proper in India. So just read this article, it's a very important article. You will be able to write the answer in mains exam related to the education system, as well as if there is an essay on the education system in India, you will get some good fodder to write the answer for this particular issue. Going to the next article, mapping the virus. Delhi government serological tests are much needed measures, but data should be used with caveats. So that is what is the issue here. So the government, the Delhi government is trying to map the virus, that where the virus is, what you can say, located. But the information which is gained through such type of serological test, it needs to be used by taking permission of the person whose, what you can say, the data has been, what you can say, taken in the what you can say, taken during the process. So last paragraph says the WHO cautions against the use of serological test. Underline this word serological test. If you don't know what is the meaning of the serological test, you can go and just check it out. The WHO cautions against the use of serological tests for granting immunity passports, but it also recommends such tests for academic purposes that could guide nuanced public health response. For example, they can help health authorities to ascertain vulnerability on the basis of socio-economic status, geographic location, agro group, or gender for that to happen. The data has to be disaggregated to account for such variables. The Delhi government decision to collect samples across the district age group in second serological survey is therefore a move in right direction. Check it. Going to the next page. Dear Sundar Pichai, the article is written by Bhaskar Chakraborty. All of you must be knowing who is Sundar Pichai. Sundar Pichai is the CEO of the Google. And we have seen that recently Google has invested a lot of money in India for digitizing India along with Jio and Facebook. So it is mentioned that, dear Sundar Pichai, there is a lot you take on when you take on the risk of digitizing India. Here are few pointers. So what are the challenges and what are the problems of digitizing in India? That is explained here in this article. It's a very, very important article. Question can be asked in the mains exam about the challenges faced by the India for digitizing. Like what are the issues, what are the limitations, or what are the inhibitions in converting India into a digital economy. So that is mentioned here. That never forget John Robinson's quip about India, that I shall update for these digital times. Whatever fact you uncover about India by Googling India, the opposite will also pop up in a subsequent Google research. So what is meaning that when you Google something about India, it is not the reality. The opposite will also pop up in subsequent Google search. India recognizes the internet as a human right. Like recently we have seen that Supreme Court has given a judgment where it is mentioned that the internet is a human right under Article 21 or Article 19. I have already discussed this during the polity session, right? So right to information or right to internet is a fundamental right under Article 21A, or it is under Article 19?
19.
Yes?
Article 19.
Article 19. Okay. Again, only Article 19 or Article 21A also? Supreme Court says that right to internet is a fundamental right under Article 19 because people can use internet to express their views. Freedom of speech and expression can be done with the help of social media. So as a result of that, right to internet is a fundamental right under Article 19. Why this judgment has been given? Because we've seen that recently the union government has banned internet in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, so that the people of Jammu and Kashmir should not go to the internet and use internet for expressing their views and their grievances. But the Supreme Court has given a judgment that right to internet is a fundamental right under Article 19, and the people can give their opinion, they express their views, their what you can say the ideas on the internet. And again, as per Article 21, also it say that internet should be given to internet facility should be given to each and every Indian as per Right to Education Act. Right, we know that under Right to Education Act, the government should provide free and compulsory elementary education between the child 6 and what you can say 14. So if the internet is not available, and if any child wants to go to school, and if internet is not available, and because of that he is not able to take the education, then it is the state's responsibility to provide what you can say the internet. That is what is mentioned here. So in this article he mentions about it, he says that India recognizes the internet as a human right and yet has laid the world in internet shutdowns. We know that there was shutdown in internet in Jammu and Kashmir. Its internet speeds can be slow and variable, but its uptake of smartphone is the world's fastest. So we can say that the internet speed in India is very low, but the users who are using smartphone is very high. India was the worst performer on the social distance readiness index. So take this, what is this? Social distance readiness index that my team created to gauge digital preparedness to operate during a pandemic, and yet it is second only to China in the internet users, app downloads and social media users. That is what is mentioned here, that we Indians upload or download many applications, many what you can say the social media channels. Right? Everyone has all types of what you can say the social media channel. Like everyone is on TikTok and Instagram and WhatsApp and Facebook, and everyone visit to every social media site every day. Then obviously it will lead to what you can say more what you can say the complications and more problems in India. So what are the problems in front of digitization of India that is explained here? In each paragraph, he has explained what are the issues related to the digitization of India. Like you can see the first paragraph, then second issue, then third issue. You have to make a points. You have to what you can say take a points from these issues. 5.6, and finally also he has given that a digital technology can create jobs. In our recently released study, Digital Light at the End of the COVID Tunnel for India, we make several recommendations to policymakers. Maybe you can help pass those along. They advance your objectives as well. Our recommendations include many ideas from streamlining the thicket of the regulations to enhancing the country's digital and physical foundations and developing more progressive data accessibility laws. For these changes to translate into productive work, the government must invest in skill building and education at all levels. So it's a fine conclusion which you can also use in your answer. So many articles will keep coming in the newspaper. You have to read these articles, you have to read it again and again, underline the important lines which you can use in your mains answer writing. Right? So if suppose if there is any question related to the digitalization of India or digitization of India, we know that the CEO of the Google, and Google is investing in India, many companies are investing in India. You have to give this example in your mains answer. Fine. So cut this article, it's a very, very important article, and put it in paper 3. There is one topic called e-governance in paper 2. Sorry, not paper 3, it is in paper 2. E-governance, and you know in e-governance it is mentioned that e-governance objectives, models and limitations. So what are the limitations of the e-governance that you will get in this article? Fine. Any doubts about it? Pratika?
No, sir.
Fine.
Got it.
So have you read yesterday's newspaper and today's newspaper? You are supposed to read yesterday's and day before yesterday's newspaper.
Yes, sir.
So no doubts?
No, sir, not much.
So next article is about boosting demand and bottom up. So what do you think? Why the article is written by Radhika Kapoor and Noman Majid? Why we need to boost the demand? Boosting demand means exactly what? Yes. Hello, am I audible? Why there is a need of boosting demand? Because we know that in India, one of the important reasons for the economic slowdown in India, one of the important reason for the what you can say the decrease in the growth rate in India is a decrease in the demand. So how we can increase the demand? We can increase the demand by increasing what we can say the money in the economy, supply of money in the economy. But again, we know only increase the demand will not work. We need to also increase the supply, because if we only increase the demand, it will lead to more what we can say it will lead to more inflation. So we need to fight the deflation, as well as we need to keep the economic growth rate increasing. So minimum wage must be shaped by aim of enhancing incomes and consumption. So boosting demand, what we need to do, that minimum wages which should be given by the government to the laborers in India should be aimed at enhancing incomes and consumption. So that is what is mentioned here. So India is facing a structural demand problem. So underline this important thing, that India is facing a structural demand problem. So one of the important problem, the structural problem of the Indian economy is the demand. There is no demand in India. And since there is no demand, there is no, what we can say, there is no economic growth, because demand always leads to more production, and more production always leads to more income, and that more income always leads to, again, we can say, the more demand. So it is a cycle. So cycle of demand and production. So if the demand is less, we need to increase the demand, and that demand can be increased by giving some income to the people, and that leads to consumption, and that consumption leads to more production. So read this article, cut this article, and put in paper 2 topic, growth and development topic in paper 3. Going to the explain page. Yesterday we have seen that the Monetary Policy Committee and the Reserve Bank of India's governor had initiated some policies. So we have seen that yesterday there was one policy called one-time restructuring asset policy. So Reserve Bank of India's new loan recast scheme. So RBI has created a loan restructuring scheme for borrowers under stress because of the pandemic. How will the scheme work, and what safeguards are in place to prevent misuse? So as we have seen that in yesterday's editorial, it is also mentioned that there can be a misuse of the restructuring scheme by the borrowers. So what safeguards have been in place to prevent the misuse of the restructuring scheme, and how the scheme will work, that all is explained here. So read this article, it's a very, very important article. How it will be implemented, how will the scheme impact banks, then where earlier such schemes not misused by the banks and corporates. Here you have 4 important, what you can see the terms. Question has been asked about the S4A in the UPSC 2018 prelims exam. In the sustainable structuring of the stressed asset scheme, the question has been asked that is the sustainable structuring of the stressed asset is us consider the following statement regarding this. So question has been asked already. SDR, you need to know what is SDR, what is S4A, what is 525U, and what is ARC, and what is IBC. IBC we have already discussed. So all these terms, CDR, then SDR, and S4A, and 525U, and ARC, all this you have to go and check it out. What are these asset reconstruction companies that can also be asked, right? So these are the current topics for those who are appearing for this year's exam. So CDR, SDR, S4A, 525, ARC, and IBC, right? Anyone is there for who is going to apply or who is going to appear for this year's exam? 1 second. Who is there? Rupali, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Rupali, note down all these topics, all these important terms. We will be discussing all these terms in the tomorrow's morning revision class. Fine?
Okay, sir.
Please remind me.
Sir, account.
Please remind me in the tomorrow's morning class where we will be discussing these all terms. Yes, Pramod?
सर अकाउंट रिस्ट्रक्चर करायचं म्हणजे काय करत असतं?
पुन्हा एकदा लोनला पुन्हा एकदा नवीन डिझाईन करून पुन्हा एकदा लोन देईल. म्हणजे एखाद्या कंपनीने लोन घेतला असेल आणि या पॅन्डेमिक मध्ये त्यांचा लॉस झाल्यामुळे ते लोन देत नसेल, तर त्यांना पुन्हा एकदा त्याचा काय केला जातो, नवीन लोन देऊन पुन्हा एक नवीन अकाउंट तयार केलं जातं. कळलं?
ओके. हा सर.
चलो. So IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, ARC, 525, S4A, SDR हे सर्व बघा. क्वेश्चन या वर्षीच्या प्रिलिम्स एक्झाम मध्ये यापैकी या 5 पैकी एका कुठल्या टर्म वर तरी प्रश्न 100% येईल. ठीक आहे? चलिए. So what are the major differences with the previous with the current scheme? So this time they might ask you questions about this RBI's new loan recast scheme. ठीक है? चलिए. Then going to the how sponsor Vivo's exit will affect IPL. We have seen that one of the important or the major sponsor of the Indian Premier League was Vivo, and we know that Vivo is a Chinese, what you can say, the company. So it has exited from the sponsoring of the Indian Premier League. So will Trump order to buy medicines local impact Indian pharma industry? So read this article, cut this article, put it in India-US relation. What will be like, because there is topic in paper called policies and politics of developed and developing nations and India's interests. Obviously, USA is a developed nation and its policy to buy only medicines in the local from the local manufacturer. How it will impact on Indian pharma industry, that is mentioned here. So read this article. Pharma industry is America is one of the largest market for Indian pharma industry. So obviously, it is going to have a huge impact on the Indian pharma industry. So what is that impact that you will come to know? Cut this article, put it in paper 3 topic, paper 2 as well as in paper 3 topic, impact of the on the economic liberalization. Chaliye, promote imagination, not herd mentality. That what Prime Minister on NEP. That is what is mentioned here. So imagination and not herd mentality. That is what is mentioned by Prime Minister on the NEP. So read this article. What Prime Minister is talking about the new educational policy. So next is Parliamentary Committee to begin discussing on EIA draft. That is Environmental Impact Assessment draft, which I've read 2 days back. So amendment is going to be made in the environmental impact assessment. So our parliamentary committee is going to discuss about the draft despite NDA members' objection. So read this article, how the parliamentary committee functions and what are the objections of the EIA draft. That is also might be given here, so just check it out. Check it. Going to the economics page today. Remaining news, you can read it out. We have left with only 2 minutes. So I'll try to check it out if there is any important news on economic page. Okay, sector watch is about the foreign exchange return. Foreign exchange reserve is at $534.5 billion with a record $11.9 billion jump in July last week. Reserves fell by $100 billion in 10 months. So our foreign exchange reserve is increasing and it has been increased by $100 billion in the last 10 months. So what are the reasons for increase in the foreign exchange reserve of India? That is what is explained here. So just read this article. In the morning session only I have discussed about the foreign exchange reserve, why it is important. So read this article, how the foreign exchange reserve has increased in India by $100 billion. Finance Minister saying that his security reduced, no subjective assessment for individual taxpayers, and taxpayers' charter of rights being worked upon. So just read this article. Right hand side, Trump order boost US drug industry, no hit on India's export in short term, says export. So there will be no impact on the India's export in short term. That is what is being said by exports regarding the Donald Trump's initiative to ban or what is it to encourage the local pharma industry. Check a business confidence index falls by 40% for June quarter. So just read it out. Who makes this business confidence index? That is also you read it out. Consumer confidence at the record low in July. Real GDP likely to contract by 5%. So what is real GDP that we have already discussed? So it is going to contracted by 5.8% in financial 21 as per the Reserve Bank of India survey. So we have seen that yesterday, we have seen that RBI has given some monetary policies. As a result of that, it says that the GDP, real GDP is going to be contracted. Questions can be asked about the real GDP contraction. Which among the following leads to contraction of the GDP? Right hand side, there is one article about the Reserve Bank of India as we can say appointed Kamath as a leader for the loan recast committee. So how the loan recast should be done, that will be recommendation will be given by KV Kamath. Okay, so this is all about for the today's newspaper. We will stop here. We will continue in the tomorrow's class. If you have any doubts, you can message me on the group. We will try to find it out. Fine. So thank you so much. Any doubts? I'm happy that today 19 people have joined the class.